Hey, it is your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We are zooming in and we are focusing in a little bit more in depth on the tool of cognitive reframing because I feel it's so very important for you to alchemize and transform and rise above really the experiences that have been very disempowering to you from the relationship with a narcissist. And oftentimes the feeling of being disempowered is feeling helpless, is feeling unrecognized, is feeling as if this person doesn't know you, doesn't care about you, and doesn't find you important, doesn't find you worthwhile, and furthermore doesn't pursue you and give you credit where credit is due for the sorts of experiences that you have perhaps created or developed or fostered within the relationship. And remember that the narcissist has an insatiable need to be the one in control and to have power over others. And power over others takes many forms, not only what they eat, what they think, how they feel, what they value, what they wear, the values that they hold, the places that they go, the people who they seek, the career that they pursue, the places that they live, the places that they visit, how they worship, how they take care of themselves, how they value their own health, what they attend to or what they neglect in life. And so really you can see that the narcissist relishes having power over others. And it's not only about inspiration, about giving you inspiration which is yours to take and allow to flourish within you. The narcissist wants to control. The narcissist wants to dictate. They want to overpower, they want to dominate, and they want to feel that they have pushed you, forced you, cajoled you, prodded you, or furthermore take responsibility for you. And then they will complain that that you're not good enough, that you always need them, and they will complain, you don't have a life, you don't this, you don't have that, you're not this, you're not that, you don't do this the right way, you do this the wrong way, you don't do this enough, you do this too much. It's constant judging and criticism and condemnation and false accusations that are strictly through their eyes and the filter of what they think is important and what they project onto you and to with a desire to control you. And so really any sort of exercise of freedom is not welcomed by the narcissist. They don't want you to be liberated. They do not want you to be empowered. They don't want you to be independent. Why? Because they want to be the ones in control. They perceive you as an extension of them. And they only want you to be able to react and be there for them and basically be as an extension. And bear with me one moment while I just put a glove over this because I know the wind gets to be a lot sometimes when we're out and about. So as we're saying, realize that the narcissist does not want you to develop your wings. They don't want you to spread your wings. They don't want you, they're not very supportive in that way because of really the lack of empathy. They don't really oftentimes understand or connect with other people. So oftentimes people feel that they're very different from them. They feel like they never fit in. They feel like they don't ever connect. They're not on the same wavelength. They're not, in the same, they're not in the same vibe. They're not in the same jive. They're not in the same lane. They don't value the same things. And the narcissist might value things that are very superficial, that are based on their control and judgment, and they cause themselves a lot of misery for this. And yet you might find that you don't value those things. It brings too much it brings too much stress, it brings too much heartache, and that you don't like to live under that judgment. And furthermore, you as an individual are not comfortable projecting that kind of judgment onto the world. Oftentimes, the control that you control keeps people out of control. If you're constantly trying to control things, outcomes, people, planning, you're going to be setting yourself up for disappointment and failure, especially with other people. The other people who, you are trying to control, you cannot control people. The people have their own free will. That's part of, maybe that's a question for religion. But basically, exercising your free will is feeling your personal empowerment and the ability to tune in and connect to your higher self, which is trying to get you, your inner voice, which is trying to get you onto the right path, which oftentimes people try to shut down and bury their talents. They try to bury their voice because they feel somebody will not love me. I will not be good enough. I will not be what you wanted. I will not be what you expect. Well, I mean, guess what? I mean, if you should raise kids or have a family or a wife, you have to realize that they're going to be their own people. They're going to be their own design. They're going to have their own personalities. They're not just going to be reflections of you or images of you. They're going to be independent like that. And so really, you would think that most people would have that as a desire, that they would desire for their children to, or their spouse to have that independence and to be responsible and accountable in their relationship. But oftentimes the narcissist does not want that. So you can feel a whole host of negative feelings. And really, what I think is so important is that you learn to alchemize and reframe and ask yourself, what have I learned from this experience? And furthermore, not only what have I learned, but how is it rippling into my life right now? What self-sabotaging behaviors am I engaging in that is keeping the long arm of the narcissist in my life? There are people who have all sorts of vengeance, anger, their blood is boiling, they're seething, they want to get back at them, they want the revenge, I want them to know that they messed around with the wrong person, yada yada. And furthermore, those feelings are preventing them from really being free and liberated and being able to really live a happier life. So my question for you is this: how is the ramification of the narcissist still extending into your life in a negative impact in terms of self-sabotaging behaviors? And when I say self-sabotaging, I mean I'm talking about people who pull their hair out, who pull their eyelashes out, who cut themselves, who burn themselves, who overspend, who get themselves into chronic alcoholism, drug abuse, overeating, anorexia, bulimia. These are all stemming from a self-sabotage defense mechanism, which are designed to protect you, but oftentimes do the very opposite of protecting you. They actually destroy and degenerate you. And they oftentimes cause a lot of unhappiness. So you have to ask yourself, how is this narcissist still negatively impacting me in my life? What behaviors are showing up in my life that are really not part of my natural calling, my self-empowerment? What kind of behaviors am I still engaging in? Am I not getting sleep? Am I not eating properly? Am I, not taking care of myself? Am I neglecting my health? Am I neglecting my wealth? Am I underachieving? Am I underemployed? Am I not seeking out the relationships? Am I not going to a support group when I should be with a support group? Am I not seeking a new love relationship because I still feel stifled, halted, and criticized for who I am and what I want? Do I feel so much embarrassment? Do I feel so much shame about myself and my personal expression, my sexuality? Being in my best. Were you taught that you are selfish, that you are, an adulteress, that you're a slut, that you're a whatever, a beefcake, whatever, being your individual self, you feel inhibited from, which is really what we call a toxic shame, which is really where you feel so much self-sabotage that you can't be your best self. You feel the S word. You are selfish for living your own life. Yet this is oftentimes, if you look back, this is oftentimes what the narcissist has their number one complaint is, you're not this enough, you're not that enough. So it's like they're doing the injuring and then they're trying to pull you up, they're adding insult to injury. It's like, but they're adding injury to insult. They're doing the insulting, they're doing the injuring. And so do you see how they stay in control? Do you see how they manipulate? Do you see how they are able to pull the strings? And, as soon as the strings break free, that's when they freak out. That's when they try to get you in your finest hour. They will sabotage you. They'll insult you. Or the compliments will be very, very fake. And then this person is just so fake. I mean, who am I to be so stupid to just ignore this sort of comment? And they can criticize you from everything from the tone of your voice, the color of your hair, the color of your skin, the size of your feet, the size of your hands, the size of your fingernails, the jewelry that you wear, the shoes that you wear, the bedding that you have, the car that you drive, how clean or neat or not neat or clean you are, from the amount that you study, from the the amount that you don't study, what you eat and what you don't eat, how you cut things, how you pour things, how you clean things, how you put things in the dishwasher, how you pike the car, how you shovel. Do you see how every single element of your life is up for criticism when you're talking about a narcissist or a controlling person? Nothing you can ever do will be good enough. Your pants are too long, your pants are too short. Your dress is too tight, your dress is too loose. Your dress is too blue, your hair is, too green. Whatever the comments are going to say, there's always going to be some reason. There's always going to be some negative thing. You bring home something positive to say, and then there's the self-doubt. You didn't really do this. You didn't do that. Oh, I bet this person was a liar. I bet this never really happened. It's just, it's really a battle and a struggle that you can never win. So I encourage you to let go of the struggle, let go of the condemnation, let go of the control, use the tool of cognitive reframing, and instead say, I am so grateful to be independent. I'm so grateful to be autonomous. I'm so grateful to have control over my emotions. I'm so glad to let go of the criticism and condemnation that this person lives by. And I'm furthermore so grateful that I can release that, let that go, and let true abundance and manifest my dreams come into being once again. I'm so glad to be in touch with the prosperity that is mine and that I am responsible for and accountable for, that no one can interfere with, because I'm not allowing them energetically to violate my boundaries anymore. Use the tool of cognitive reframing rather than feeling so alone, rather than feeling isolated, rather than feeling like a poor, a terrible spouse, a terrible sibling, a terrible parent, a terrible employee, whatever it is that you're telling yourself, the self-talk. If you're not aware of your self-talk, it's important to become aware of it, because the self-talk is what's keeping these basically self-sabotaging behaviors. Look at the ripple effect. Look at what is extenuating from that, and I bet it will be very insightful. And once you realize this, it'll be more than easy for you to let go those self-sabotaging behaviors. It is peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.